Welcome back to the Greatest Storyteller Podcast. I'm Omari, and today's story is titled, Yo, is that you? So, my journey through singlehood continues. Ugh, I swear, you guys, just when I think I snagged a good man or this new dating adventure looks promising, boom, a shoe drops and I'm still fucking single. Okay. Like, damn, what does a girl have to do to get a normal guy? And I swear to you guys, it's not me. I'm like a really cool, laid back, chill, really low drama type of personality. So I don't get it. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Generally speaking, I think I'm just a cool catch. It's not me, you guys. I swear it's not me. Well, maybe this time it was me. You see, again, on a dating app, and I meet this really great guy. Yeah, like how it always starts. And I find him really attractive. And not only is this guy very attractive, but he's extremely intelligent, like super smart. He's well versed on different topics. He's a true avid reader. He's an MD by trade, but doesn't rest on his education. He has a diverse investment portfolio. He's a super Southern guy, Christian, well to do. Like in my mind, it's tens, tens, tens across the board. So he and I do a good bit of conversing over the phone. We exchange a number of text messages, like how it always goes. And then finally, we had decided, okay, let's meet up in person, see if the synergy is there, so on and so forth. And you guys, I'm a simple kind of life type of person. I don't mind the finer things, but my heart really is into that whole easy living type of space, right? Like I like to go thrifting. I prefer to cook at home versus going out to dinner. I would prefer to drive a paid off older car versus having a car payment for a newer model anything, right? So again, simple kind of life. So I tell him, hey, let's just go to a coffee shop. Let's talk more, get to know each other better. Again, see if the synergy is there. He didn't reply to my text message about meeting up at Starbucks, but I got the sense that he didn't really want to meet there for a first date. So I guess he was cooking something up that I would soon find out. Um, so the next day, a couple of hours before the date, he sends me a text message and he says, hey, beautiful, let's meet up at Night of Illusions Funhouse instead around 7 p.m. And I'm like, okay, bet I'm there. Now, I've heard a lot about Night of Illusions, but I've never been there. But it was a better option than Starbucks. Night of Illusions is a local adult arcade room with games from like the late 80s and 90s. And it's supposed to create this nostalgic, immersive experience, right? So I'm really looking forward to it. So skip to the date night. We're just a few hours away from meeting up. I'm really excited. And I'm like combing through my closet trying to decide what I wanted to wear. Now, again, we're going to an arcade. So I could have simply wear jeans, a ripped up shirt or off the shoulder shirt, and that would have sufficed. But I really wanted to go all out as far as dressing sexy is concerned. Again, I know dressy or dressing sexy doesn't meet this occasion, but I didn't care. Nope. I wanted him to want me. I wanted him to desire me. I wanted him to hug up on me and kiss on me. I wanted him to want me. Sorry. But I needed to make sure that, there was still a little bit of balance, right? That I can choose an outfit that makes him do all of those things while still being comfortable enough to walk around a big arcade room and play a bunch of games. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, okay. So I know it. I go straight to this portion of my closet and I pick out this sexy black lace onesie jumpsuit where you can see a little glimpse of my matching underwear once I put it on. And it shows the perfect silhouette of my body. Oh, yeah. This right here, this is it. And just to put a nice conservative flair on it, I throw on a nice blazer so that I'm not too overt in my sexiness, but it's definitely going to get his attention. Okay, so now I have this sexy outfit that was and looked good on me, but the material wasn't really breathable, I guess. So I had to make sure a girl was protected. I put on a little extra deodorant and, made sure I had a little powder, and baby, I was all set. So I head out, I drive towards the location and make it in record timing. Baby, when I tell you I walked into that arcade room looking scrumptious. I mean, I looked damn good, okay? I mean, the heads were twirling, darling. I was getting all the googly eyes. When I tell you I sashayed across the room, acting like my shit didn't stink, I looked good. I looked real good, okay? Now, maybe people were looking at me not because my shit didn't stink or I looked scrumptious, maybe because I was overly dressed, my drawers were showing, and I could possibly be mistaken for a trick, but I didn't care. I wanted this man to want me. Okay. Anyway, so I walked around the arcade and I'm trying to point him out, but there were so many people here. So I'm looking around, and before I knew it, he walked up to me. He says hi. He gives me this biggest bear hug, and I inhaled him. And you guys, he smelled so good. He smelled like a warm, cozy, woodsy smell. I don't know. He just smelled amazing. Okay. And for the moment, I got so lost in his arms. He was so burly and manly. When I tell you, I almost melted. Okay. So he looks me up and down. He starts complimenting me. And then he like pauses for a split second and he says, "So you're going to be able to play in that outfit?" And I told him with no hesitation, "I'm ready to show you all my skill sets, baby." So he understood the double entendre. He gave me a wink, and then we're off to the races, right? Like we go rushing for any game that we can get our hands on because, again, it was so many people. So, my gosh, this arcade was so much fun. It had all my favorite childhood games. We played skee ball, we played air hockey, we threw baskets, basketballs, to see how many baskets we could make in a short amount of time. We played darts, we danced to 90s music. We even played the Nintendo Power Pad. And if you're from the 90s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like it was so much fun. And so after a while, I'm starting to get a little breathless and I'm like, "Hey, um, you know, let's just go grab a drink and sit for a minute and kind of take a break from all of this ripping and running." So he goes to the bar, picks up drinks. And while he's grabbing drinks, I go grab a small table for us to sit at. I start to pull out my chair, And as I swung my arms around to pull out the chair, I got this waft of tartness. And I'm like, oh, what an interesting scent. But I didn't think anything of it, right? Like I didn't know where it came from initially. And so I kept it moving. So as I'm starting to lightly wipe down the table just so that it's cleaned and we're comfortable, the circular motions of my wipes started to emit more tart-like scents with every movement. So I panic. I panic, and now I'm sweating more. And with great hesitation, I pull up my arm and I take a little sniff of my armpits, and oh my God. Oh my good God. When I tell you my underarms smelled like unripe tangerines. When I tell you it smelled like a recently burst open grapefruit. When I tell you it smelled like I had too much damn fun. On the inside, I cried. I cringed. I'm like, shit, what am I supposed to do? And before I could think of anything, I see this man walking towards me and I'm freaking out on the inside. Like I'm really freaking out. And then, of course, I start to sweat a little bit more. And as I'm sweating a little bit more, it's almost as though it was pushing out more lemon scents from my armpits. Good God, please help me, God. Please, please, please. I try to put on a good face. And just as he gets to the table, I'm trying to play it cool. I'm playing it cool. And I'm praying like, God, please don't let this man smell me. So I'm putting my arms close down to my side, and he puts the drinks down on the table. And I'm like, thanks. Um, thanks. And he says to me, are you gonna take a sip? And in my head, I'm like, no, nigga. I, I mean, no, not right now, babe. And he's like, okay. And so then he tries to like hug up, he starts to hug up on me and he's like kissing my neck. And I am freaking out all over again. And then he wraps his arms around my waist. And when I tell you, I started to slowly die. And I do mean slowly die on the inside at this moment. Um, yeah, I'm hoping that he doesn't get a whiff of the limes growing under my arms at the moment. And then he could tell something was off. And so he kind of like gently pushes me away and he says, hey, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think like, you have to get to the restroom. You have to get to the restroom. And before I could walk away, he says, yo, is that you? And I reply, me? What, what do you mean? What do you mean is that me? And I could see him like slowly try to take in a slight breath, like inhale slightly, but like refraining from making a face from what I know he's smelling. And he looks at me and I look at him and we look at each other and he says, you know what? I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Let's just high five it up to a good time. We had a good time. Let's just high five it up. And I'm like, no! What the fuck do you want to do high fives for, nigga? So I'm really like trying to hold it together. I'm really trying to hold it together. And I say to this man, hold that thought, LeBron. I'm going to run to the restroom and I'll be right back. So I legit jet to the ladies' room, head straight for the big stall because I needed to make sure I could get this onesie off first, and then two, prune this citrus tree growing in my armpit. Okay, so I'm literally in the restroom from like 15 minutes. And yes, it took that long. And I'm like really just scrubbing, making sure I literally squeeze out all of this tart cherry shit under my arms. So after addressing the fun in my armpits, I head back out to meet up with my date. And when I get to the table, he asks, "Hey, you're okay? You were gone for a while." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I'm totally fine. Let's toast it up. And, let's enjoy the rest of the night." And so we drank, we chatted up, we wrapped up the night, and all was copacetic. So, what's the moral of the story here? I'll tell you. Don't ever wear a non breathable onesie to an arcade room, okay? You see, I'm out here playing hoops like I'm Jordan and shit. I'm running on fake fucking mats like I'm Flojo, and I'm squaring up to play boxing games about to smell like the rumble in the jungle. I was so embarrassed, you guys. I cannot make this up. I was so fucking embarrassed. I'm a woman who takes great care of my hygiene. I take pride in the way I care for my body. How the hell did this happen to me? All I wanted, all I wanted was to be desired. I wanted to be wanted. I wanted to be I wanted to be fresh. But hey, shit happens. And there's always next time. Thanks for listening. Tune in next time for more of my crazy, funny stories. Also, share your thoughts on this podcast in the comments section below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any new content. And feel free to share this video and other videos to get the word out. Until next time.